Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Maxwell Render Hot Tips, the show where you learn the features in Maxwell Render that might otherwise go unnoticed. My name is James Cowan and I'm the Maxwell Render mentor at the University of Brighton Centre for Design Technology. In today's episode of Maxwell Render Hot Tips, I'll be looking at how to import multi-light settings. Importing multi-light settings is a feature used when you want to have the flexibility of multi-light but not the heavy resource usage. This is the scene that I'll be using to demonstrate this feature. I've simply got a floor and 5 planes, and on each of these planes I've applied a different emitter material. Now let's suppose that instead of just this basic scene, I've got a complicated scene with different emitters and I want to enable the multi-light feature so that I can fine-tune the intensity of the emitters once the render is complete. However, in doing so I know full well that this will increase the render time of the render and also increase the RAM usage. But by using import multi-light settings I can get around this by rendering a draft image to a low SL, fine-tuning the emitters, importing the multi-light settings, and then disabling multi-light. So then, my emitters will have the intensity and the colours that I need them to, without taking up more time to render or more RAM. So over here in my render options, I'm going to enable multi-light to colour mode. And also notice that my sampling level is 10. This will work with intensity just as well, but colour mode demonstrates that it works with both modes. And it's also important to notice that my sampling level is 10. This is because I don't want this to be the final render. I want this to be a quick draft, so I know what my multi-light settings will be. And then I can just render that image. Right, so now my render is complete, and you can see that even in this very basic scene, the render time was over 5 minutes. And this is only to SL10. And also the benchmark was 742.51, and I know from experience that on my computer that is very low considering the simplicity of this scene. And also the RAM usage for this image was 3 GB. And that's just the nature of colour multi-light. It's a very powerful feature, but it requires a lot of resources. And this is where import multi-light settings comes in. Because now I can change my emitters. For example, I can increase the intensity, reduce the intensity, change the colour, and so on. And then if I want to put these settings into my original scene, I can refresh the image and then save this MXI, either by going to this icon here or going to File, Save MXI As. Remember, you need to save the MXI, not the image. So go to Save MXI As and put it somewhere safe. Now here I'm back in Maxwell Studio and you can see from the file window that all the planes are as they were before. But if I just stop that a minute and then go to File, Import Multilight Settings and select the MXI that I just saved, Maxwell will import the multilight settings, and if I enable fire again, you can see that there they are. Then what I can do is turn off the multilight and render the image. And here's my final image. And here you can see my multilight settings from the previous render, but multilight itself was not enabled in this render. And that means that it was much faster with a much higher benchmark. And the RAM usage was considerably less. In fact, it was less than 500 megabytes. So that's your Maxwell Render hot tip for today. If you've got a scene where you want to use multilight to fine-tune your scene, it might be worth enabling multilight for a draft image, fine-tuning the emitter color and intensity, saving the MXI, then importing those settings into your original scene, disabling multilight, and rendering again to a higher SL. If you'd like hands-on one-to-one training in Maxwell Render at the University of Brighton, send me an email at maxwellrenderbrightoncpt@gmail.com or tweet me at jcoleman_design. Thanks very much, I'll see you again soon.